It's the Leaders World, and we are here with our guests. I know you've been waiting, and they are all here. Both of them are here to speak with us today on the power of vision. They are here to speak with us on the power of vision. This is the Leaders World. It is your corner where we talk to leaders about leadership. We are here to influence leadership thoughts, processes, so that we can impact transformation, so that we can influence transformation. Tonight, I'll be introducing Dr. Shu Daniel. Dr. Shu Daniel is international speaker. He has a PhD in leadership. He is the president founder for Lead Higher Institute and Lead Professional Training. He is a pioneer in many ways for many organizations in Cameroon and outside of Cameroon. And specifically, he is the pioneer regional director of Haggai Institute for Francophone Africa. He is a university lecturer and he has planted many thriving churches. He is the author of several books of international renown on leadership and marriage. Some of his books are being used in schools for master's programs. Dr. Shu has taught thousands of executive leaders. And with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcome Dr. Shu Daniel. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you for inviting me to this worldwide program. I am so blessed and I'm so proud of you and your husband for what you guys are doing. And I pray God will richly use you to bless leaders across the nations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. That was from our heart, sincerely. And with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have one of the executive directors of the prestigious John Maxwell team. She has had the opportunity to recently facilitate the 2020 virtual international Maxwell certification with about 6,000 people from all over the world in attendance. She has had international experience with her teaching career. She is a school principal. She is the founder of Transform Nation Training and Development LLC. Her quest to keep on adding value to so many led her to acquiring several academic qualifications, including 2 doctorate degrees. She is a coach, she is a speaker, she is a trainer, she is a teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Kenisha Williams.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much. It's so good to be on the show. Thank you, Miss Susan, Papa Shu, and happy Valentine's Day. God bless you to all of those who are watching on today.
Yay, happy Valentine's Day. So we are talking on the power of vision, and we will be right back.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute. Changing lives, one leader at a time.
So we'll kick off right away with our conversation. And I was just thinking to myself, first of all, okay, we're talking on the power of vision. Why should we be talking about the power of vision, by the way? Dr. Shu, could you please speak into that?
Yes, vision is all about life and making it in life. You know, when we talk about vision, we're talking about a future. We're talking about a destination. We're talking about a dream that will become true. And let me say that when we talk about a future or a destination or a life goal, we are saying that you are thinking of what will be credible, what will be bigger, what will be better, and what will be brighter. That's a future. Whether it's for an individual, whether it's for an organization, whether it's for a church, whether it's for a family. You must think of a bigger, better, and brighter future. And we say that there is no leadership without vision. If you are a leader, then you would like to tell me what is your vision. And therefore, vision is as powerful as the existence of every successful man, of every successful organization. Without vision, there is no leadership.
Wow, without vision, there is no leadership. And, and, I'm, and I'm thinking, Dr. Kenisha, without vision, there is no leadership. Your thoughts, what is the power of vision?
Yeah, this is a great question because immediately what comes to my mind is without vision, the people perish. Without vision, they cast off restraints. So, leader or not, if we cannot see with our inner eye, then we have no hope. So, vision yields hope for more than what we currently see. But if we have no vision, then we just are. So, if that's good, then we're just good. If that's hopeless, then we're just hopeless. So vision is the inner eye of what's possibly not manifested that we are believing for it to happen in the future. So to me, it's everything for leaders, for sure, but also for non-leaders. We have to have a vision for our lives first, first, and then if we are a leader, we have to have vision for those who we are leading so we can get them to that place called there.
Oh, wow. Vision is the inner eye. And while you both were talking, I was just thinking about the importance of vision. And I was wondering, somebody would be out there thinking, now don't waste my time. Just tell me, how can I get a vision?
Yeah. That's right.
Dr. Shu, how do we get vision?
Yeah.
How do
How
we
do
get
you
it?
get a vision? How do you get a vision? That's a very, very good question. Now, let me say, first of all, that from my personal experience, there are three sources of a vision. The first source of a vision is from the individual, an individual. You dream of what you want to be in the future, and then you start planning to make sure it happens. The second source of a vision is from God. God can directly speak to somebody like God, spoke to Nehemiah, telling him exactly what he needs to do in order to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. But let me also say that a vision can come from the devil, from the enemy. I don't want to
Wow.
quote names here, but when you think about terrorism, when you think about killing human beings, it's not a vision from God. But you find people who are excited to be able to destroy humanity. So, vision can be an individual, it can come from God, it can come from the. But let me also add by saying that when it comes to an individual who is in a position of leadership, the vision can come from him as an individual, or it can also come from the people that he's leading. Let me just give an example. We had a very wonderful president in the past. By then, I was a medical doctor in the field, and every 5 years, he sent down some questions right down to the grassroots, beginning from the districts, the subdivisions, the divisions, the regions, and then coming right up to the national. And everybody contributed in letting him know what the nation should be like in the next 5 years. That was called the 5-year development plan. And when everybody had contributed, it came right now to the presidency, and from the ideas and the inputs of all those he was leading, he came out with a 5-year vision. So a good leader will not have a vision which will not meet the needs of the people. The vision will not just satisfy the curiosity of the leader, but the vision is meeting the needs of the people, making them better, making them brighter, and making them bigger.
Wow. So it's about the people, Dr. Shu. Is it not about me becoming famous?
Very good. Absolutely, vision, becoming famous. That's ambition. There are so many people in the world today who want to make money for themselves, who want to make a name for themselves, who want to be outstanding. That's just an ambition. I want to say that vision is about others. Vision is about the people. Vision is not just about me. And if I have a vision, then I should be asking myself, how do I bring a positive change, transformation in the society that concerns me?
Wow. Dr. Kenisha, you are into transformation. You're all about transformation. And that's why we have Transformation Training and Development LLC. How do we get vision? If I'm watching right now and I need for you to help me to get a vision, how do I get a vision?
Yeah, that's a great question. And Dr. Shu, Papa Shu gave us 3 different ways. I'm going to anchor in on one of them because vision should not be determined, right? You said that, Papa Shu, that's ambition. To me, vision is discovered. It's within, right? We were born with vision. So we should be going about our lives trying to discover what is it that I'm supposed to be doing because it's in you. Yes, I'm talking to you. The vision for you, it's in you. It's within. So that Dr. Shu, that goes to your second one, that when we're born, we're all born with a destiny, with a vision that we're supposed to discover to live out. So for example, I'm 43 years old. I'm 5'3". I'm not going to be in the WNBA. So I can pretend like that's my dream and my vision. It's never going to happen. But what I can tell you, the vision is what you see me doing now.
Okay.
Talking to people, talking to leaders, about their destiny. But guess what? I knew this as a child. In me as a child, I knew that my mouth was going to be used to change this world. So I just begin to discover through the stages and phases of life. I discovered what you're seeing now. Susan, you've discovered, and I heard your testimony. You didn't wake up and decide this is the vision you're going to make for yourself. Dr. Shu, it was in you from the beginning. You discovered it. Now, the practical part now, as a leader, as we're running organizations and teams, Dr. Shu, you're absolutely right. You go to the people, and here's what I saw Kat Cole say and Live to Lead. She said she went on basically a missionary trip, and she asked the community, what is it that you want? They said water. She said, what's the second thing that you want? They said water. She said, what's the third thing that you want? They said water. Because the people in that community knew the greatest resource and necessity was water. So after I get my vision, and then I'm running an organization, I go out and I scale and I talk to the people that are running the ball. For all of you sports analogists out there, if you're running the ball, I need to touch you because the people closest to the action knows where the problems are. So then I take that intel, I go back to what's in me and I make a connection. Not for me, in spite of me, for the people. And that's how you see vision go from personal, and that's how you see it go to the connector, which is whatever that organization, business, community is. There's a connection of vision, but it has to start individually.
Wow.
And then
can I say something, Suzanne?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is excellent what Dr. Kenisha is saying. But let me say that she's capitalizing, and I like that, on one's life vision. And one's life vision is one's destiny.
Okay.
Why God brought you into this world. I want to appreciate exactly what she said. But in vision classification, we call that a long-term vision or a life vision. But when I talked about vision, I was talking at it globally. And we have short-term visions, which may be 5 years, which may be 10 years. Then we have middle-term visions, which may go from 10 to 30 years. And then we have long-term visions, which are life visions and which may surely outlive us.
Now, Dr. Shu, you are the founder, you are the president, you've taught many thousands of executive coaches around the world, and you founded Lead Higher Institute and Lead Professional Training. Who is better placed than you to speak more into what Dr. Kenisha and myself are talking? And I'm just, would you want to answer the question for us about is vision, are you born with vision, or do you discover it in the course of life? And in this case, we are talking about life's vision.
Yes, I like that question, Susan. Honestly, that's an excellent question. And I would use my example to answer that question. You are born with potentials, and listen very clearly. You are born with potentials to accomplish a specific vision that God created you for. That must be clearly understood. But you discover that vision sometime in your life journey. Let me give my example. I only discovered my life vision of what God really wants me to do less than 15 years ago. I'm already in my 60s. I first of all lingered as a medical doctor. Then I lingered as, as a specialist in radiology. I did a bit of working for God, doing general ministry. And then about 20 years ago, God spoke so clearly to me and confirmed it through prophecies that I needed to start this school. And
so I'm coming back to you, Doctor. I'm definitely coming back to you. I'm just like a mediator, like trying to help our audiences. If you listen to Dr. Shu, I want to encourage you. If you're still lingering around and it's not all that clear, it's not crystal clear, do not give up. Do not give up. Keep that lingering. Because as you keep that lingering going on, something is being fine-tuned. And as something is getting fine-tuned, sooner or later, you are going to hit it. And when you hit it, you are going to know this is it. All right? And we are listening from the experts. Go ahead, sir, Dr. Shu.
Yes, I like the word do not give up. Do not give up and do not linger. But let me say this, Suzanne. God puts the right people on our way. And this is what Corrie ten Boom said. Corrie ten Boom said, every experience you have and every person God puts on your way is a perfect preparation of the future that God holds for you. And that's it. Let me very, very plain with you. Dr. John Edmund Haggai and Dr. P.K. Dealey, who invited me to join the Haggai in ministry, were people that God had put on my way to prepare me into leadership. Before then, I was carrying out a lot of programs, but I was not really groomed to be the leader that I am today. So while you're lingering, God is ordering your steps and preparing you, using the people that He puts on your way, using the experiences that you are going through. So do not miss the experiences. And let me say again, experience is not so much what happens to you, but experience is what you learn from what happens to you. So when you learn, you keep learning, a time comes when God will say, the time has come for you to enter into your life destiny.
Pay attention to the experiences. Pay attention to the people that life is placing in your way. And I truly believe in my heart that we are some of those people that life is placing on your way at this time. And it will be right back.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute. Changing lives. One leader at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Leaders World. It is your corner where we talk to leaders about leadership and we influence leadership thought processes to impact transformation. With us in the house, we have Dr. Shu Daniel and we have Dr. Kenisha Williams. Dr. Kenisha Williams, my question will be coming to you. It's about fueling vision. I might have an idea of what my vision is, but the drive is not strong enough. And I need help with that. How do I fuel my vision?
It starts with what you think. Listen to me. If you don't hear anything else that I say today, listen to this. It starts with what you think about you. Earlier, I referenced the inner eye. So when I believe, not just I think, not just maybe, but when I can go in to see with my inner eye, that which I know is within that needs to come out and spend time. It's like a skin graft. What happens if there's a 3rd-degree burn and you need new skin? They place that new skin, the vision for our instance, and they wrap it and they wrap it and they wrap it around and they compact it and they don't take the wrapping off until the vision is now one with that old skin. So when you don't have the energy or the drive, or you're not sure, I implore you, I encourage you, go to your inner man and woman, see it with your eyes closed and wrap your mind over and over with what you know you're supposed to be doing. Say it out of your mouth, speak it to others, see it with your eyes closed, until you become one with that vision. Family, everything that we see with our physical eyes started with somebody's vision. It's like a seed. Inside of a seed is a huge oak tree. You don't see the oak, you see the seed first. But what's the vision of it? They wrapped that seed in dirt and it looked like it was dead. They watered and they gave it the sun.
Wow.
And for years, maybe it's seemingly like nothing happened. But Papa John told us in Live to Lead this year, he said, it's about the journey. He said, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. Doctor, you just told us that it's about the journey, right? You just said that 15 years ago that you just got to maybe that 3rd dimension of vision, but it took all that you went through before. So nothing in your life, family, is wasted. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's going to be used for that ultimate destiny, phases and stages of vision.
So listening to you, Dr. Kenisha, we must trust the process.
Yes.
And we must give in to the process. Dr. Shu, how can I fuel my vision?
I like the question. I like what Dr. Kenisha said. You know, every journey starts with a step. But let me tell you again, at times God pushes us to begin. Let me just give my testimony. You know, God illustrated my lifestyle with a story that I heard. It's about a king that had a beautiful daughter and was wondering who should get married to the daughter. And so he finally decided that the young man who will be able to swim across the river with all the crocodiles unharmed will get married to the daughter. And every young man was excited. And then the day for the conquest came, and every young man was standing on the other side. And then said, on your marks, go. Nobody was getting to the river because they were afraid of the crocodiles that had been starved for 3 days. But suddenly they found a young man, and he struggled and crossed the river. And so the king said, you are the bravest young man in this place. You're going to get married to my daughter. But this is what the young man said. Before I get married to your daughter, king, I want to know who pushed me into the river. Now, let me say this. That is my story. God clearly told me I should start a school. And when I looked at all the difficulties and how I was not prepared and I didn't have the money, I didn't have the experience, God brought a young man from the United States, and he came and said, Dr. Shu, I want to work with you. Let's get it happen. And so we began the school. He promised me the stars and the sun, and then he went back to the States. I did not even see the light of a star. I didn't even see the light of a moon. And 3 months afterwards, he wrote to me and said, Dr. Shu, I'm not going to work with you any longer. That shattered me. And so we decided to fast and pray and find out, what is God saying? And then God told me, you were reluctant. I sent somebody to push you into the river. You understand? So you may have the passion, you may have the desire to start, you may not know how to go about it, but quite often God puts the right people on our path to help us, to trigger us, to catalyze us, to move and to accomplish.
It's like coming again to the importance of people in our lives, the importance of connections, the
Absolutely.
importance of relationships. John C. Maxwell, he tells us leadership is influence, and
Absolutely.
influence is all about connection. So
Exactly.
if I heard you, I was able to hear the importance of valuing the connections that we have now.
Absolutely.
The importance of valuing those connections. And I heard Dr. Kenisha saying, oh, we need to see it, we need to say it, and we need to speak it to others, and that would help us to fuel that vision all the more. And I'm thinking, I know we've been talking about short-term visions and long-term visions. Dr. Shu, can vision change over time?
Vision can crystallize over time. Vision can enlarge over time. But if it's a genuine life vision, it will not change. Let me give you the testimony of, I read and I study a lot about leaders because I want to succeed in leadership. Look at the vision of Bill's Bride. Bill's Bride started in 1951 with students. At that moment, the vision he had was reaching out for students. And he succeeded in reaching out to students. But today, several years after that, Campus Crusade for Christ, which is called CRU today, is reaching out to athletes, is reaching out to the military, is reaching out to inner cities, it's reaching out to the entertainment industry, it's reaching out even not just to students, but also with the Jesus theme. So the vision has grown, the vision has enlarged, the vision has broadened, but the vision remains the same, reaching people for God. So please, vision can be crystallized, the vision can be enlarged, but if you really have a live vision, it remains the same.
Wow.
Presently,
Wow.
reaching nations, different nations, with the programs that God had laid on my heart. But it all began in Cameroon, and now God is opening many nations to reach, but it's the same vision.
So
Absolutely.
vision would enlarge, it will be crystallized, but it will remain the same when you reach that point where you finally know this is it. But
That's
before then, are we open to keep refining it and redefining it? Dr. Shu, I'm still speaking with you, sir. There is a question from one of our listeners, our viewers, and she's asking, can you have more than one vision?
Yes, you have just one vision, but you have many goals. That's it. And every single goal should be leading to help you accomplish the vision. So, if in life, while you are growing, until you have the specific vision that God has called you to, you may have to work in different visions and in different goals. I work with Hagar Institute, and I was in charge of French Africa. vision for French-speaking Africa. But the vision I had for French-speaking Africa was just a goal in the big vision of Haga Institute. And in every nation where I worked, the different leaders of the nations had visions for their different nations, but they were just goals in my vision for French-speaking Africa. And so it is important for people to know that you may have a vision which is just a goal in a bigger vision, but you are proud to accomplish your vision. And while you're accomplishing your vision, you are helping another person to accomplish a bigger vision. And that's how life is. It's really a web, a network.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to come back here and just listen to this for myself, for my own very self. Dr. Kenisha, how do I define the why of my vision? Because I've heard from you and from Dr. Shu that it's all about the people. And I heard you say that it's not for me in spite of me. So how do I define the why of my vision?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think it's a matter of success versus significance. And Dr. John C. Maxwell, we call him Papa John. Success is, it really is me. And to be completely transparent, I was like that before where, I wanted to help you, but if you didn't want to get it, great. I'm going to get my degrees. I'm going to make sure I have my money. I'm going to make sure that it's my one and done. Not married, no kids. As long as I'm taken care of, I'm good. And then my whole life began to be transformed. So then it's like, okay, why do we have 2 doctorate degrees? Why do we have this? What really are you using your mouth for? So then I went over from this notion of just success over to significance, which is the why, which is my life is not just to have accolades. My life or our lives is to add value to lives of others. And my why is not going to be your why. And your why is not going to be the person's why who's watching us on Facebook and YouTube. We all have a different why, but it's connected to significance and not just our personal success. And the more we can tap into the water, remember the analogy from earlier, remember their top 3 things was the same one thing, which was the vision. It is that one thing, which is we now have to discover what is our why. Am I getting degrees just because I want the accolades of positional leadership? Or am I adding value to myself because I know nothing in, nothing out? A lot in, a lot out. So what's the divergence of why I'm doing what I'm doing? And again, that's yet to be discovered. It goes back to what you were saying, Dr. Shu. Depending on the phases and stages we are in life will determine how we are discovering or our receptors, right? So because our receptors are there, sometimes they're just not ready. It's called readiness. What is our leadership readiness to discover and receive what our why is? At first, I thought my why was to use my voice to be an actress in Hollywood, right? I can be very dramatic. It's what I like doing. But it had something to do with my mouth. It had something to do with talking. I just didn't know the why because my readiness wasn't there. But guess what? I didn't lose that. Right? Because we never lose it. It's stored. And now I'm beginning to discover. I've been in public education for 21 years. And now there's some shifting that's going on. Was I wrong for the last 21 years? Absolutely not. It's called the journey. And as like you said, Dr. Shu, as you're on the journey, the why, I loved how you said that. The why becomes crystallized. It becomes clear. And the of what you're doing, that's when the why, I go back to being discovered. I don't determine, I discover. And it's the beauty of the process. What's the most important step? Every step that you're on right now. So if you're not there, great. Just take the next one step. That's how we walk to destiny. It's the journey that matters, not when, how far. Not when am I going to get there? How far can I go?
Wow, 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 wow. Dr. Kenisha, I like how you talk about success and significance. And success is when you're thinking about you prospering. But significance is when you go beyond yourself to empowering other people.
Absolutely.
And right here, some of us are just listening, and we're wondering, oh my goodness, how do I get from one level to another? And I'm thinking, Dr. Shu, how do I move from one level of that discovery? I like how Dr. Kenisha also said, it's about the discovery, which means it's been there all the while. It's been there all the while. How what should I like look for, Dr. Shu? What should I look for
Yes.
in that process, on that journey? What should I look for?
Thank you very much, Suzanne. And I want to appreciate this program. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wow. You know, move. She says you move from success to significance, and that's it. I think that summarizes everything about the why of a vision. But let me just add to it. Um, Look at it in look at the why, the purpose, the reason why you're suffering, why you're putting in finances, why you're spending sleepless nights, why are you doing all that? Look at it in, just to add to success and significance, look at it in three ways. One is, what impact am I creating on earth? What impact am I creating in my environment? How do the people in under me or in my environment, how do their lives become better? How do their lives become brighter? How do their lives become bigger? And then there's a second aspect about the impact in eternity. We should not only look at impact now, but also impact in eternity. I am a Christian, I'm a committed believer, and whatever I do, I always ask myself, how will that impact eternity? And then the third thing is about legacy. What legacy am I going to leave behind? So the success talks about my legacy. Significance talks about the impact in the world, in my environment, and the impact in eternity. She did an excellent job. Now, please, can you just remind me about the question you asked, because it kind of got off.
What am I look for? I am on the journey. I am on the journey. What are my look fors as I walk on that journey to significance, to ensure that I am finding my space in the world? What
Yes.
are my look fors?
Yes. Three things. I would say three things. One, look for the people who will help you to stay online. Two, look out at the obstacles and the different problems that will be placed on your way to prevent you from succeeding. There is no success without sacrifice. There's no success. If you succeed without sacrificing, it means that the people who came before you sacrificed for you. And if you sacrifice without succeeding, it means those who are coming after you will enjoy the sacrifice you made. But understand, there is no success without sacrifice. And so anybody who is moving and pressing on with the vision must be ready to sacrifice, must be ready to embrace the obstacles, must be ready to embrace the difficulties. And the third thing is processes. You must be able to have principles of integrity, because the world will want you to turn to the left or to the right and to do the shabby things in order to get fast results. But the faster you go, you may easily go astray. It's good to think of one, the people that will enhance me on my way. Two, the obstacles that I will embrace and how to overcome them. And three, my values in life. I have to stay a man or a woman of integrity, and I'll not allow myself to be sidetracked.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. I think you just opened another portal of conversation there altogether. And it's definitely true that we won't be able to look at all of it today about principles and values. But just, Kenisha, would you like to just speak into that a little bit, into the principles and values thing as far as vision?
How much time do we have? Because yes, I can, and yes, I
Well,
will.
guess what? I am going to stop you.
It's so interesting.
Dr.
That's right.
Shu, oh my gosh, it's everything. So with my business transformation, I have three pillars of principles. The first one is know thyself. And within that 10, it is leading from the inside out. Leading from a foundational pillar of integrity. I didn't say religion. I didn't say Christianity, although I wish you were one, right? Because I am. But even if you're not, I said integrity. I'll tell you why. Because everything in comes without. Who I am on the inside, I cannot pretend, maybe for a little bit, but it's always going to manifest in my decisions, in my speech, and in my leadership. So the most important thing for leaders, hear me, leaders, it is that we build our foundational fortitude. Who am I on the inside? What do I believe? What are my values? And I'm speaking from a leader who was broken on the inside before. I'm speaking from a leader who lost all position at the highest position, lost it all publicly because I had a character issue that I refused to deal with. And there was public disgrace because it was my fault. So hear me, leaders. And thank God for grace. I thought I would never get anything back because I had been in this, listen to this, for years. And did not do the work to lead Kenisha's inside. Oh, I was Dr. Kenisha, all right. Oh, I was over the school. I was over this position. Oh, and it's seemingly outside success. But what I know is our insides at some point will trickle out. So I implore you, I implore us, go in and go deep. Go deep in who you are. Like Dr. Shu, you stirred me up. And what you really believe. What is your moral vicissitude? What are your guardrails? Will you do anything for anyone? Or will you have a standard? What is the standard that you're going to have for your individual life? Because I promise you that will come out in your leadership life, and it will come out publicly, good or bad. What's in comes out. It cannot be hid.
And we'll be right back. Dr. Kenisha, Dr. Shu, they're here and they're talking on the power of vision. We will be right back. If you have your questions, we will be taking them.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute. Changing lives, one leader at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Leaders World. It's brought to you by Leaders World Institute. Leaders World Institute builds, equips, and trains leaders for excellence in the marketplace and in the ministry. And on this platform with the Leaders World, I call it the corner, where we talk about leaders, about leadership. And here we influence leadership processes to impact transformation. With us in the studio, we have Dr. Shu Daniel, and we have, first of all, Dr. Shu Daniel is the founder of Lead Higher Institute and Lead Professional Training. He is a papa indeed. He has impacted my life personally. I wouldn't be what I am today as far as leadership stuff and stuff like that without Papa Shu. We call him Papa Shu. And with us in the studio, we have Dr. Kenisha. Dr. Kenisha is a woman whose heart is large to add value to people. And all she does is add value to people. And I have heard her talk about, oh, I love adding value to people who add value to others. and Dr. Kenisha is here with us, and we are talking on the power of vision. And it's true that we are going down to the close, our last 15 minutes. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask your questions. I was just wondering, Dr. Shu, the words dream and vision, are they interchangeable?
Dreams are the onset of But let me say this. There are dreams that are never realized because the people never accomplish what they desired. No, Miles Monroe said, the graveyard is the richest place in the world. Because there are visions there that have never been accomplished. Presidents that never ruled. Professors that never taught in the university. Authors that never wrote a book. Pastors that never built a church. Why? Because God had put in them the potentials they might have even dreamt never really came to accomplish. So basically, I would say dreams are a prelude to the vision. Let me just give an example from the Bible, or I can even give an example from Disney World. You know, Mr. Disney, that's his name, and it's called Disney World today. It's a a recreation site in America.
Yes.
He had dreamed. Yeah, I mean, you guys are in America, you know more than me. But he had dreamt about creating that environment for pleasure. And the dream, he put down his dream, a sheet of paper, drawn out how it will come about when it is accomplished. But on the way, while the buildings were going on, he died. But his dream became a reality because he had involved his wife and other people. So even while he had died, the vision was realized. And then when the governor, the government representative came to inaugurate the place, he stood up and said, and I put in my own words, Mr. Disney was here to see what he started. And his wife, in responding, said, with all the respect I have for you, sir, Mr. Disney saw this center before dying. That's why it exists. So a dream must come to reality. If not, it remains a dream. And so a dream is a prelude to of the vision.
So I would say to you, our audiences, while you dream, wake up.
I like that. I like that. While you dream, wake up and get to business.
And get to work.
Dr. Kenisha, tell us about putting in the work as far as vision.
Listen. I was speaking to someone shortly ago and I was encouraging them and asking them, how's it going? They said, well, I haven't really done anything. I said, why? They said, it's hard. I said, of course it's hard. Nobody gets to vision without it being hard. Here's what Papa John said. He said, everything worthwhile, it's up there. It's uphill. Nothing worthwhile, no vision, no dream is going to be on level playing field. It's uphill. So I have lots of military friends, and here's what they do. They go on road marches and they go up hills and they put on their boots. Male or female, they don't put on their 3-inch stilettos. They put on their boots because they're going to go take the hill, and taking the hill is indicative of work. It's called the law of sacrifice. What am I going to sacrifice, right? The exchange. I'm exchanging playing golf and watching TV for reading books to add value to me. The more in, the more out. I'm exchanging finances to go to school because I need the degree for me to add value. It's the exchange. And Dr. Shu, you mentioned it earlier. If you don't put in the work, that means that possibly somebody did it before you, but the people behind you will have to put it in. You have to put in the work. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. It's not going to be, if success was easy, everyone would be successful. So don't be afraid. And this one last thing, I call it failure is my friend. So I tell them, anybody that knows that they are successful, they have to fail often, they have to fail fast. So I say, if I know that failure is part of the process, and I cannot get away from it because failure and success is inextricably connected, here's what I tell failure. I say, come here. Failure, you come here and sit it down. because you and I will be friends, because in order for me to take the hill, I know I'm going to fail. So come here, failure, sit down, because when you come, I'm not going to fail you, because you're part of the process to get up the hill. So
Fail
put it in here.
often and fail fast. Fail often and fail fast. Dr. Shu, I just sense in me that we might need to talk a little bit more on the sacrifice, the price we have to pay for vision. Because it's not like some of us don't know what that vision is, but sometimes even if we don't know it, the barriers that are keeping us away from attaining them are enormous. Can you please just speak into that, Dr. Shu?
Yes, please. According to my understanding, there are three kinds of sacrifices everybody has to make. There's the sacrifice of time. You have to put in time. There's a sacrifice of energy. You have to put in your power. And there is a sacrifice of finances. So time, treasure, and time, talent, and energy. So, and the point is this: vision doesn't just come about because you dreamt and because you want. You must be able to put in what it takes. And again, when you study how to build an enterprise, how to build a business, it begins with the incubation phase, then it goes on to the rapid growth phase, then in the maturing phase, and finally the stabilizing phase. And you realize that there's a lot of energy that has to be put at the incubation phase.
Right.
And if you are not very serious, embracing the obstacles, taking time to find out how to overcome your obstacles, taking time to get mentors to help you to overcome the difficulties, you may fail at the incubation phase. So the fact that God gave you a vision, the fact that you are enthusiastic about something, the fact that you dreamt about something does not necessarily mean that you will attain it. You need to put in energy, to put in treasure, and
So
above
much
all,
value.
brave the obstacles to be able to accomplish.
Wow, so much value, so much insight, so much wisdom. Thank you so much, Dr. Shu. I'm looking at our Dr. Kenisha. Dr. Kenisha, would you like to talk about just a little bit, like leaning into communicating your vision effectively? I know, but we can't. That's a whole topic on its own. But can you just lean into that a little bit, communicating your vision to maybe the employees that you're working with or volunteers that you're working with? Do you want to lean into that a little bit? Thank you.
Absolutely. The deal is you have to do it. You have to do it with your voice. You have to do it right now on social media. You have to do it in writing. Every opportunity that you get, we should be communicating with those, whether they're employees or volunteers, and making sure that we stoke the fire, right? That we're poking and we're stoking the fire consistently. On the John Maxwell team, we have something called like the Monday. They come on every Monday. So we have our CEO and Chris Robinson, they come on every Monday morning to get us stirred up for the week, and they call it Due Day. So we all gather around our leaders to go for Due Day. But then daily, particularly the last couple of weeks, they're constantly telling us, revisiting the vision. We write it down and we make it plain so that people can take it and run with it. But if we say it once and we post it on the wall and say that's the vision, that's not enough. We should consistently be before the faces of our people, whether it's in formats like this or in written format, to constantly promote the vision and ask them to promote it as well.
Dr. Shu Daniel, communicating your vision to the people working with you. Please,
let
sir.
me put it this way. If the vision is the engine that will make you succeed, communication is the engine oil. If an engine, no matter how good, no matter how new, no matter how wonderful it is, if there is no engine oil, that engine will break down. And so everybody who has a vision must be able to communicate it from top down. Anybody working with you, anybody involved in their vision, you must be able to communicate, but watch out. There are people you call vision killers. They will do everything to discourage you, to show you how it will not work, to show you how it's such a difficult thing, to show you how you cannot do it. So watch out that you do not communicate your vision to vision killers, because they will get you out of business. So communicate their vision to the people who will encourage you, who will catalyze you, and who will help you. So your team and friends.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. We are running down to our last couple of minutes. You heard them. You've heard from Dr. Kenisha, and you've been hearing from Dr. Shu. I'm going to be putting their links in the chat, okay? Don't worry, because we can't have enough time to say everything and answer all your questions. I see you in the chat, I see you in the comments, and I see you commenting and all of that. Listen, I'm going to put their information in the chat. You're going to have access to them, and you can contact them. You can get the resources from them firsthand. And we are here. Leaders World Institute is here. I am here, and we are ready to serve you. We are ready to serve your needs. We are ready to speak with you, to know how we can accompany you on your journey to your next level. We are all here. Dr. Kenisha, do you want to just tell us about what does this all have to do with faith, believing? Let's say I'm a believer, I'm a person of faith. This vision thing, what does it have to do with me?
For me, it has everything. It drives me to my knees because I have a busy mind and I'm very creative. So I'm always thinking something all the time, always. So if I'm really trying to endeavor for a dream and the real vision, I have to connect to the visionary, which for me ultimately is God. Because I can think of a bunch of things to do, and I do, but I'm not just interested in what is facilitated just in my own mind. I want the mind of Christ. So when I go to the visionary, and the scripture talks about when we ask God, he'll fulfill it, not just random things. When I ask according to the will of God and vision in line with the will of God, and I attach that with me putting the work in, that's when I know that that vision will lead to success and significance. So it has everything to do with vision. Remember, it's the discovery, because I didn't put it in me. I didn't get to decide that I was a communicator. I was born with it. So I've got to connect to the visionary, the ultimate visionary, so I can go through this journey called life and discover.
Awesome, wonderful. Dr. Shu, you might want to lean into that, but there is a question that's coming at the 1 minute mark to the end. How can one identify vision killers, Dr. Shu?
Well, those who don't have you at heart, those who are not well wishers, those who do not want to see you succeed, watch out. And I want to know able to say those who are enemies, because Joseph's brothers were not enemies, but they were vision killers. So they may not be your enemies, but if they don't have you at heart and they don't want you to succeed, watch out. They may want to kill your vision.
I'm a person of faith, Dr. Shu, and I'm wondering, how does this concern me? Do you want to speak into that, sir?
I didn't get that.
I'm a person of faith, and I'm wondering, how does this vision thing, how does it concern me? Do you want to speak into that, please?
Well, I want to say that the first thing, everybody, as Dr. Kenisha said, everybody who is living in this world, when I said leader, not everybody's a leader. You must cue into a personal life vision. And for you to do that, if you're a Christian, you wait on God. God will show you what your vision is. If you are not a Christian, maybe you just think about what you want to be in future. And maybe with the help of your mother, your father, your people around you. But let me say that in every one of us, Christian or not Christian, God has put in us potentials that will kind of canalize our lives to the vision that God has for us. So Christians should succeed in their visions. Yeah, absolutely.
It's about time we say goodbye. Dr. Kenisha, your last words, ma'am.
Listen, go after that which is in you and don't give up. I don't care how much failure you've had. Failure is your friend. Don't give up. Stay in the game because I need you. This world needs you.
Dr. Shu, your last words to our audience.
Last words, please. Let me give you some research topic. If you want to succeed in life, think of the 5 levels to help you accomplish vision. It begins with prevision. Prevision is thinking about solving a problem. Then it goes to vision. Then after vision, you have to subdivide it to divisions. That's goals. And divisions, that's the resources. You must be able to revise your vision alongside. So remember the 5 words is prevision, is vision, is division, is provision, and is revision. If you remember that, you can make research. There are some of my books on the web that talk about that. Effective Leadership, the African Challenge will help you. God bless you.
On this note, with prevision, vision, division, revision, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. It's always an honor to have you. Thank you.
For your corporate and personal needs.
Leaders World Institute, changing lives, one leader at a time.